Chapter 8. Clutter must be stopped. Jill, what do you think happened a week ago when we played in the forest for months? Frog asked. I looked toward him, sitting across from me. Steph to my left, sitting on the couch, and he begins to say Frog, but forget what she was going to say. I expected the answer from Steph because I did not have an answer myself. In that moment of Steph's pause, I glanced over at the television. 4G cell phone networks are completely covering the country, the man representing a wireless network says. Is there anything we should worried about? The host of the show asks. 4G can send frequencies above 25 Hz, the advertiser said. The host gives him a serious look, many questions expressed on his face. 24 gigahertz can expose, if directed at a particular individual, to such radiation that the heat of the radiation could cause blood and tissue loss, the person representing the wireless network says. I looked towards Steph. This is it. What? Steph asked. 4G networks, I answered. You mean to answer Frog? Steph asked. Yes, Frog, maybe it's 4G. 4G can cause blood loss, and due to our blood loss, we hallucinate the whole forest journey, I answer. Maybe, Frog responds. Jill, if it was due to blood loss, how could we all have hallucinated the same thing? Steph asks. I consider the question for a moment. I do not know, I answer. We put our faces down towards the floor. I said, I wonder what the forest journey was about. I'm going up to Frog's closet, Steph says, raising herself up off the couch. Frog and I follow. Steph quietly walks into Frog's closet, tapping on the walls as she completely walks in. I tap on a couple walls myself. Everything looks normal in the room, Steph says. I need answers, Frog says. Where's Sally? I add. She's in the tub, Frog says. She said if things get tossed out of her closet, maybe we should go over there and investigate. Frog leads the way. Walking into Sally's room, I glance over at her tiny bed wrapped in a bright pink blanket. A small white child desk was to the right. Frog peeks into the closet. I do not see anything odd or out of place. I peek over Frog's shoulder. Okay, I answer. We slowly walk away from the closet. Steph says, Where's the clutter? That closet is the same closet that clutter was thrown everywhere years ago when we disobeyed and came over here against your parents' will. Jill, Steph, I hear Tom say. In here in Sally's room, Steph answers. As Tom enters Sally's bedroom, I hear that sound that was in the tomato patches. Suddenly, without warning, some of Sally's possessions were thrown out of the closet. Balled up in a pile of clothes in Sally's closet was what appeared to be a creature. Grunt, grunt. Oh my goodness, Steph says. This is our chance to figure out why these strange things are happening. Who are you? I yell across the room into the closet. Rumble, grunt. I'm Steph, Steph yells towards the creature. Grunt, grunt. Yes, the creature says within the closet under a pile of clothes. Slowly, the top of his head peeks out from within the clothes, exposing just his eyes. I'm Clutter, the small, little, hairy, black-brown colored thing says. Begin to hear the sound I heard in the tomato patches, the sound of deep crud in a burnt environment. I remember you, I yell. Okay, Clutter says, chewing on something. Hold on, Steph commands. What is all this about? This is not normal. Things like this do not happen in normal life. Okay, Clutter says. Why do the closets take us away from time to time, I ask. Clutter pauses. The strange sound Clutter makes is still coming from the closet. Clutter says, sound like a cat speaking, if a cat could speak. I'll burn down your entire house, Clutter begins to laugh. Turning on the gas inside the closets right now, Clutter says. Why? Steph asks. You cannot do that. We just want to know why you're taking us places from inside the closets. Miss Rugg wants to keep you to herself. You can live in her garden amongst the tomato patches, Clutter says with excitement in his voice. No, you cannot keep us, I say. Then we'll burn down your house. Steph runs over to the closet door and slams it shut, pushing the Clutter tight into the closet. We rush out of Sally's bedroom and hurry downstairs. Tom says, "What the heck's going on?" as we rush down the stairs. I suddenly remember Sally in the bathtub. I gotta get Sally. I rush back up the stairs. Sally just getting out of the tub. I wrap a towel around her and lead her down the stairs and into the kitchen. We sit down on the bar stool of the recently set up bar my father had built. "What was that?" Tom again says. "Do you think he'll burn down the house?" Steph asks. I notice Tom once again, seeing him as foreign. Steph seemed to notice it as well. "Tom, why do you not know what's going on?" Steph says, snorting. "Yeah, Tom, it's like you're all screwed up." "How much drugs did you do today?" I said, laughing. Tom, noticing he suddenly is shocked and begins to do as he did the last time, which is play the scar we just made. "Think about this, Tom. You have no clue what's going on," Steph says, and begins to laugh. Tom, knowing he was smarter than both Steph and I, says, "I know where we are. We are in a magical land," Tom says, disgusted with the thing that we were making out of him. "Seeing that you know, how are we going to get home? How are we going to stop Clutter from burning down the house?" I ask. "I smell gas," Steph says. "This means Clutter turned on the gas in the closets." Tom says, "I know what to do. It's the 4G. The 4G is the gas." "Does 4G mean Dad's internet?" I ask. Tom, playing us stupid to fit in with the extra growth we made out of him. "Yeah, Jill, we are all 4G and on fire." "Shut up, Tom. Don't be stupid," Steph says without meaning. "I'm serious, Steph. 4G, according to my dad, mildly warms our body temperatures, they say." "I do not think that is what Clutter was talking about," I answer. "I smell gas. Nobody make a spark," I command. We sat there for a moment, breathing in and out the gas coming from the closet. Without sincere consideration, Steph and I begin to mock Tom. "Tom, is the gas to you better than the drugs you do?" "I don't do drugs, Steph." "That's what drug-type people usually say. They do not do it," I say. "Okay, I do drugs. You got me. That's why I said 4G. 4G does not warm our bodies," Tom says. "Tom, dude, man, you're screwed up," Steph says. Going into my room. "Steph, are you coming?" "Yes." We both got off the bar stool and began to approach the hallway leading up to the ancient staircase that leads to my room. "Wait for us," Frog exclaims. "Tom, you coming?" Frog asks. "Yes." They both catch up to us and we make our way up to my room. "Going to sit in the closet," Steph expresses. "Why the closet?" I say, laughing. "There's an adventure in the closet." Frog agrees and hurries in front of Steph. We sit down on the wood floor. "Wonder if something bizarre will happen to us," Steph voices. "What about Clutter burning down the house?" Tom asks. I did not notice, but Sally had been following us in her pink towel the whole time. "Sally, you have not gotten dressed yet," Steph says, as Sally cuddles up in her arms. As we were talking and making fun of Tom, we found ourselves in a North American forest like the 100-acre forest behind our house. We were so out of our mind we forgot to be surprised by being in the forest, a forest that was a closet. I look to my left towards Steph and attempt to yell. I freeze. I cannot move. I see Miss Rogue crawling on all floors. She reaches. She grabs Sally's foot and drags her off into the forest. Her towel falls off, and I watch her in her bathing suit getting dragged off in the dark forest. We scramble to our feet. "Sally!" We run after her in the darkness of the forest. We run for about 1/2 an hour, following the drag marks of Sally being dragged by the ankle. We get tired and stop for a moment. "I cannot keep Jill," I hear Steph say as I begin to move the thick-leafed branch in front of me. "Wow, look," I speak. Tom and Steph peek through the foliage. Houses in the middle of the forest. We walked out into the small, square paved road that appeared to begin at the forest line and end 100 feet down the other end of the forest line. "Sally!" Tom yells. We hear nothing. We quietly approach one of the small houses, the white one. We hear nothing but a windless forest. We peek into one of the windows, the one closest to the paved road, the road that goes nowhere. We see Miss Rogue place Sally down on the bed. "You stay here and be a good girl," Miss Rogue says while walking into another room. Tom starts banging on the window. I soon join him. "Sally! Sally!" Sally looks in our direction. As she attempts to get out of the bed, Miss Rugg rushes into the room with a knife. Sally screams. Wake back up in the closet, hearing Sally scream and Miss Rugg laugh. I look at Sally wrapped in Steph's arm. Are you okay, Sally? I ask. Yes, I'm fine. You remember where you just were? Yes, I was in the room with the lady with black eyes. You did not get hurt. Did she hurt you, Steph asks. No, I do not think so. That was so bizarre. Tom probably was drugged up the whole time, Steph adds. We both laugh. Okay, it must have been the 4G, Tom says. My dad's internet, I ask. No, Jill, I'm just pretending to be the thing you keep my mind intact, Tom says. No, you're not, Tom. You're screwed up, Steph says. Okay, it's the 4G going around. Yes, and it's your dad's internet. And you two have been heating up, and now we are beginning to break up, Tom says. What do you do about that? Frog asks, remembering what he did in the Force, which was run away. I pretend to be losing reality so I can keep it, Tom says. Like an undercover cop, Sally asks. Yes, for myself, Tom says. As of right now, I'm thinking that the radiation comes at us, and the 4G code is making voids, and we have to make something out of it. We pretend something's there. The more we do this, we begin to see what we want, breaking up our bodies in the real world, which is sort of like fire. We're no longer mortals the same way we were before we started making something out of the radiation, Tom explains. Tom, you're just pretending to be you right now. How do you know that information? Because it makes sense, I say. Yeah, Tom, just this morning we were watching television about 4G, Steph says. I don't know, Tom answers. Maybe it's the radiation. Once Tom was other than being made fun of, he got more than mean. Mean was not Tom's character. You know, Steph, you're basically a brute beast, Tom says. What? Basically, you really need to shut up from time to time. Is that the radiation too, Steph asks. Whatever. I do not actually remember you. Seriously, I do not think you were that uninformed, Tom says. Steph begins crying a little. Tom, do you need help to be put on smaller drugs, I say? Tom looked at me full of rage. He was about to freak out and I was going to enjoy it. I punched the back of the wall. I look at Steph with small tears in her eyes. I look at Tom and say, corrections officer, and begin to laugh. I'm leaving, Tom says, getting up off the floor. I suppose we're going to be set on fire as well as this house, Tom says, walking out of my bedroom. I look at Steph. Steph says, I suppose it could be true. Clutter might be burning down the house at this very moment. Why are we finding these strange worlds, Steph questions. Maybe Tom's right. Maybe Clutter can tamper with the internet and cause us to be other than the reality we were, I say. Tom, I yell into the hallway. Tom walks into the room. Tom, if Clutter is tampering with Dad's 4G internet, what should we do about that, I ask. Tom puts his head down, begins to think. I do not know the answer, if you are being serious, Tom says. So you, in your own words, pretending to be what we made out of you, have now become an all-knowing God, Steph asks. Yes, exactly, Tom answers and adds, somehow. Well, in that case, I say, who am I? I cannot know, though, Tom says. I was faking being in the dreamlike state. It's like I could, but maybe it was only so I could pull us out of the fire. At that moment, banging could be heard on the closet walls. Not just mine, but two at the upstairs. You all were born and your little dog too, Clutter says, sounding loud, talking.